Congratulations, you get us 2 weeks in a row.
Yeah, and we also have breaking news. We had Nadia cakes.
Oh my god, I forgot.
Yeah, to the, well, probably surprise of many, somebody did buy them for us. To the surprise of no one, it was my husband. I was in a bad mood, and he said, do you want Nadia cakes? And I was like, don't do that. Like, they're really expensive because you have to order them on Goldbelly, and so it's like $100.
But you know what? They fucking slapped.
They were pretty good.
They were really good.
I still have some. They're still here at the house.
I thought about that when I dropped off the book yesterday.
Why didn't you ask? I could have given
because
you
I'm trying to like, I'm not trying to like eat super clean or whatever, but I'm very aware that I will not be eating well when I'm in Europe for 3 weeks.
Sure.
So I'm trying to be reasonably well behaved until then.
Fair enough. Well,
so
I haven't been, and I've been taking like bites out of them every time I pass through the kitchen. So
see, that's what I would do if I had self-control. But if I had taken all of those cupcakes home, or that was Monday, I guess. If I had taken all of those cupcakes, if I had taken like a few home, I would have eaten at least 2 of them in one sitting.
Fair enough. Yeah. I
know myself.
I have a sweet tooth, but I feel like my strength as somebody with a sweet tooth is that I'm pretty good at limiting it, where I can have like 2 little Reese's and I'm done.
See, I have like a different problem where I'm like, I have sweets less regularly, but when I do, I just like go in, you know what I mean? Like if I have like a bag of, I mean, you've seen me with fucking Nerds gummy clusters. I'll eat that whole fucking thing in one sitting.
You are so right.
Yeah. but like if I had the ability to just graze on them throughout like the week or whatever, I would have sweets in the house, but I cannot keep them in the house.
Well, fair enough. But our official Nadia Cakes review is they slap. They are so soft.
Fucking good. And they sat on Abigail's porch for a couple hours, like, and they have ice packs in there, and they were still like, they were like, they got one, I think 1 or 2 of them got a little melty, like the ones with a lot of frosting.
Yeah.
But like, they were put together.
Also, I will say they got here like a week ago. Mm-hmm. They're still great. So
nice. That's the sign.
They do not taste stale whatsoever. I can attest. I had a bite of a chocolate peanut butter one right before I came up here, and save tiny bites of the best ones for me. Okay, there's a full strawberry guava one left because unfortunately, even though that is the Say You'll Remember Me cupcake, it is my least favorite. So
I really like them.
All right, well, I've got one for you.
I like a fruity cupcake flavor.
Okay. I'm not
like I love like a strawberry cupcake.
I like a strawberry. As you remember, my birthday cake was strawberry, but
yes, and it was awesome.
Maybe I'm not very guava inclined.
See, I really like guava, so
okay.
I don't know. Well, save me that bad boy, please.
Will do. So anyway, today, in light of our quick turnaround, we also read a very short book.
Yeah, how many pages is it?
It is. Here's some ASMR for the people.
Nice.
162.
Yeah, I read it in like basically a sitting. Like 2 sittings, really. Like I sat down, read like half of it, got up, made some food.
Finished it.
Futzed around a little bit, sat down and finished it.
Yeah, so this one is Big Fan by Alexandra Romanoff, which is part of 831 Stories, which we have talked about on the podcast that our friend Amanda had first asked us if we had heard about when it launched a few months ago, and we had not. So when we were at First Light, I want to say, is when you got the first one that they had released, which is Big Fan.
No, I got that when I was at Barnes & Noble, actually.
Oh, okay.
Remember when I went to the Barnes & Noble up north?
Yes, now I remember.
It was like the day I signed the last bit of my divorce stuff. And the Barnes & Noble in North Austin is like right near my lawyer's office because I had to go in person. It wasn't my divorce stuff. It was like the house, house documents. And the Barnes & Noble in North Austin is a 2-story one, and like the vibes are immaculate.
I do love a 2-story Barnes & Noble.
Mm-hmm. And I also had a gift card.
Oh, well, there you go then.
So I was like, you know what I deserve?
Books.
After signing the last bit of my divorce stuff? To get a little Starbucks and walk around this Barnes & Noble.
You were correct. And
that was the only copy of that book that they had, and it was the only 831 Stories
Oh.
that they had. And I think this was my first sighting of it, like, in an actual, like, I don't think I fully realized that they were being sold, like, in bookstores until I saw it there, because I had looked at the 831 website when, like, Amanda first sent it to us, but I kind of thought that the books were only available there. Like, I didn't fully realize they were going to be broadly available.
Right. That's what I thought too. And so I was like, well, I'm not really going to like specially order things because that's just not my jam. My big fear in life, wasting money.
See, I love a membership, as you know.
Yeah, I know you do. Yeah, how often are you using the Alamo membership right now?
Not a lot right now, but I did use it a lot over winter, like in like December and January. So it evens out.
All right.
I went basically almost every week in like December and January just to see like stupid bullshit like Despicable Me 4 or whatever.
I'm realizing now too that I didn't say Alamo Draft House. So for our non-Texas listeners,
membership to the Alamo.
Katie's going every day to see stupid bullshit like Davy Crockett's hat. Now, the Alamo Draft House, the movie theater
Alamo
chain.
Draft House has a monthly membership where it's $20 a month and you can see a movie a day. So honestly, if you go see more than
two movies a month,
like 2 movies, you break even.
Yeah.
More than that, you're getting like a fat discount. So I went I kind of front loaded it, and then I haven't been going as much, but we're going on Friday. So.
We are going on Friday. So, I'm lately.
It's sort of, I mathed it out like last month, and it's pretty much evened out.
All right. Pretty good. All right. Well,
it's a good incentive to go to the movies.
I know, which is what I need as a person who has famously never seen a movie. So
right, like if I get to the end of the month and I haven't like seen anything, I'll be like, I have a few hours to myself. Like,
let me go see a movie.
Yeah, even if it's something kind of silly. You know?
Sure. But anyway, in this case, these books are sold in stores, and you don't have to be a member. And
right, as far as I can tell, they're in all the big box places. Like I've seen them on Amazon. Like they're everywhere that you can get them.
I purchased one at First Light here in Austin. Shout out to
you
First Light.
got Hardly Strangers, I think, right?
Yes, the purple one.
The purple one?
Yes, I got the purple one.
Yeah.
I have not read it yet. We will get there. So, anyway.
And I think the benefit, though, of being a member is that the prices per book are much cheaper.
Yes. So, the way it works, as we've kind of gone over in other episodes, we'll do it again if you are new here. They have these books that are all like novella length, all seem to be like under 170 pages. Yeah. And
certainly less than 200.
Right. And they all look kind of the same. All the covers like look the same. They're very nondescript, but also, well, maybe nondescript is not the right word because they're very brightly colored, but they're all very cute. And they don't have...
But they're not like, there's no imagery on the covers. Right. They are all like this like checkerboard or like stripy pattern generally. Each book has a different color scheme, and there's corresponding merch to each of the books that also generally falls along that color scheme.
Right. So
it's almost like, it almost reminds me of those like fairy loot boxes or like Loot Crate or stuff like the fantasy like fan boxes that will be sort of all themed. Like this one's like witch themed or whatever. It's like sort of that concept for like contemporary romance.
So yeah, this article that was in Glamour in September calls it the Bravo of romance novels. So it's 2 friends who, Erica Cerullo and Claire Mazer, they published their first one in September or late August, and they hope to become a hip, horny Hallmark, basically. Well, they host a podcast together. Interesting. So the first one launched on September 10th, and they kind of like seem to have an origin story not dissimilar to ours, or like, I guess like not dissimilar to mine, where it's like, you know, I actually like really believe and love these like romance stories, like even though they were kind of written off as cheesy at a point. So
well, and I don't know how much you remember this, but they were also behind that that clothing brand Of a Kind that was in a lot of big box retailers. I think they were in Target and stuff, and it was sort of a similar concept, but for like small fashion designers. Like we will work with designers to get your stuff sold, essentially. And they were huge in like the early like 2010s. I remember them being like a bit like, I remember seeing them on all the like on the influencers like to know it pages and shit like that. So when Amanda sent this link, I was like, what, man, why do I recognize those girls' names? And it's because they did Of a Kind in the early 2010s.
Yeah.
So the concept, it's sort of a copy paste of the concept a little bit.
A little bit. It's like the authors who are writing these books are not necessarily like big, huge names, but they have, you know, the blurbs on the back are from, you know, many a name we recognize, like Elisa Sussman on this one. And yeah, so this, I do remember this now. I was scamming through this article again. So they kind of turned to romance during the pandemic, like many of us, and they really fell in love with the idea of you. That novel, which we did read on this podcast, so you may go back and listen to that episode.
This book gives the idea of you.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
This is like
100%.
what I wanted the idea of you to kind of be.
Yes.
And it makes sense that Alyssa Sussman blurbed this because not her most recent, but one of her books that she's put out in recent years is a super similar concept to this one.
Is it Funny You Should Ask or Once More with Feeling?
I think it's Once More with Feeling.
Fair enough. So, anyway. So, yeah, that's the kind of whole thing. The website at first hurt my eyes because it was pink and red. And I said, that was a bad idea. But otherwise, everything.
Okay, but I don't know if you went and read the like bonus chapters. You can turn on reading mode and it makes the website turn to black and white.
Oh, I didn't know that. No, I haven't read the bonus chapters yet.
Yeah.
So, I will go do that. Because
so I'll talk about this more at the end, but the thing that I really think is super, super cool about this book and this concept, this 831 Stories concept to begin with, is like, I love the idea of like delivering, like, there's almost like, this is going to sound so fucking cringy, so I'm so sorry, but I love the idea of having this like sort of like multimedia aspect along with these books, especially since they're so short. Like at the end of the book, there's a literal QR code, like physically printed in the book that you can scan, and it takes you to all of the bonus content for the book, which is bonus chapters, one of the songs from the book that apparently was like recorded and put on Spotify, all the corresponding merch, and then links to fan fiction that has been written about the book, which is really fucking cool.
Yeah.
And so I love that they're creating these little worlds around these stories because I feel like that is something I think they have their finger on the pulse of like, you know, like we've seen like, you know, I ordered that ACOTAR shirt when we had our live show, and like we've seen like cutesy book merch have like a big sort of moment online, and they're sort of like they're like getting ahead of that almost. Like it's not like they're not waiting for the fans to create this stuff. They're like, here's all of it at once.
Yeah.
Which I think is smart.
Yeah. I want to get into this more. Let's talk about the book before we do that, because it won't take long. It's 160 pages. So.
Right. Yeah. It's very quick. So the concept of this book is that we meet this hotshot political strategist, political consultant named Maya, who is fresh on the heels of a really nasty divorce. Her also Politico husband cheated on her with his 20 some odd intern or something along those lines. It's like the most, Abigail's doing a thumbs down. It's like the most stereotypical story ever. And so we meet her, what is it, like a year after that or something like that? Like some time has passed, but she's still going through it.
Well, based on election timelines, she was helping with the presidential candidates election when she like found out, if I remember correctly. And now it's about to be like a governor's race. I'm not fully in tune with, you know, the state of the Massachusetts governor races, but I'm assuming it's in even years. So Be about
Yeah,
like
what one
one
would
to
think. So at least a year, perhaps two, have passed.
Yeah. So she is kind of looking for another job. She like got, I don't know, you don't want to say got famous, but she's become very recognizable in DC because, as she kind of puts it, Cooper, which is my dog's name, so that was unfortunate. Cooper, her ex-husband, was like basically the Kennedys, like part of a family like that. So it was big news when he was like caught cheating. At one point, she says it was like on the front page of the New York Times. And so, yeah, it's like, it's not a good time for Maya.
Yeah, so she's like in the market for a job, but she's sort of persona non grata, like kind of through no fault of her own. I mean, through no fault of her own, but also because she's like feeling very leery about like being out in the world and being perceived, which is completely reasonable. And she's also like, we learned pretty early on that she's criticized a lot because she's pretty and dresses really fashionably and stands out on Capitol Hill, basically. And so it sounds like people just kind of love to dunk on her, which is unfortunate.
Yeah, so the book starts where she's at this party, and there's a very funny scene where this other Politico is talking to her, and it's, you know, the way that people talk to each other when they're insulting you, but not directly.
Yeah, it's very, oh, bless your heart.
Yeah, Maya had just had a profile in Vogue, which, like, good for her, man. That's crazy. And, like, in print, too. So I'm like, okay, this woman, must be very powerful. I cannot think of, like, a real life equivalent, but
no.
Lena Hidalgo's wedding was in Vogue, and I did not enjoy it, so I will say that.
Right. Yeah, I mean, like, I was kind of picturing her as, like, an AOC-esque, like, image, but obviously AOC is, like, an actual politician, not, like, a strategist, but that was who was in my head, because she's, like, young and fashionable, and, yeah.
Yeah. So she's at this party. She runs into her friend Gabe, who is working on the campaign of this woman, Teresa Powell, who's a House representative but is running for governor of Massachusetts. And Maya is really passionate about the issue of universal basic income, which she refers to as UBI throughout the book, which is unfortunate as an acronym, but here we are. And
you know what? I learned a lot about universal basic income.
So did I. I did too. So not that we'll ever have it in Texas.
Romance novels can teach you stuff about the world.
You learn something in these books sometimes. It's not just sex. It's
not just
politics.
Banging.
It's not just banging. So
you get your social issues too.
Exactly. Who said romance doesn't do anything for the world? Anyway, so her friend Gabe knows that she's having a little bit of trouble, like, finding her next job because she was so much in the public eye that, not unreasonably, but unfairly, a lot of candidates are kind of like, I don't need that right now. Like, you know, that's a lot of drama. And
we kind of see, or we do see, like, when she does, skipping ahead a little bit, when she does get her next job with the politician that Gabe works for, who's running for the governor of Massachusetts, you kind of understand a little more when you hear her, like Teresa, explain it, just to be like, I don't need you to be a bigger news story than I am.
Right, exactly.
Which makes perfect sense.
Yeah, exactly.
And Maya, to her credit, is like, yeah,
I understand.
that makes sense. Like, it sucks that I'm here and it's fucking frustrating, but, like, I get it. Right,
exactly. So she goes and interviews for the job because Gabe is like, hey, you're really interested in UBI. I think that might be a good idea for Teresa and her campaign in Massachusetts. Like, this might be a good platform for her. And so Maya goes and has a meeting with Teresa, and she gets the job. And is like, you can tell she has a little bit of a vibe off of Teresa, but she's like, well, I need this job. And I know this, to also Maya's credit, she also knows this whole thing is unfair. Like, it's not her fault her ex-husband had a shitty affair, like, on her desk, I think he says.
Right.
So
yeah, like, I don't think she's holding it against Teresa, but I think she's like, man, this kind of sucks, but, like, what else am I gonna do?
What can I do?
And she is excited that Teresa seems legitimately interested in her pitch and universal basic income and all of that good stuff. So
Yeah.
it's sort of a bittersweet-ish maybe moment. That's probably not the right word, but
No, I see what you're saying. Yeah, I agree. So she gets the job, and then she goes back to her apartment. And part of Maya's big backstory is that she ran a very successful fan club for a boy band in the early 2000s called Mischief. And her favorite was Charlie Blake. And
are you picturing this as One Direction? Because I am.
Well, yeah, of course.
Okay,
Like,
yeah.
Also, if you flip to some more ASMR for you all. The about the author page in the back, Alexandra Romanoff is a journalist, a cultural critic, and the author of 3 novels. Her favorite member of One Direction is Louis Tomlinson. She lives and writes in LA.
Okay.
So yeah, it's One Direction, and that's fine. That's great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and I will say, I like, again, getting ahead of myself a tiny bit. Like, in the merch that's packaged with this book, there's a shirt that says "I am a fan of Mischief." And I think one of the funny things about the merch is some of it is just like cute regardless. And some of it is like, I know I'm going to understand this after I read the book. So it's sort of like little Easter eggs that are like, we learned that she made these shirts as part of the fan club. And so then they're selling the shirts in real life. And it's like, oh, okay. It was like a little teaser kind of thing.
Yeah, exactly.
Which I think is kind of cute.
Yeah. So she gets a call she gets an email after she accepts the job from Teresa, where it's like Charlie Blake's, what do you call him?
People.
His people, his person. So Charlie and Maya happen to be in the same issue of Vogue, which crazy, all right. Because Charlie has like this big, nice men's fashion brand now. Like, that's what he's doing. And Maya and
he's not doing music anymore. He's just doing the fashion thing.
Yeah. And Maya in her interview like talked about how she used to like run this fan club, and that's how she basically became a political strategist, where, learning how to, target the masses and what they care about kind of thing.
And like wield and influence large groups of people.
Yeah, exactly. And in her case at this point it was mostly preteen girls, but to her point that she like makes in the book, she tries to talk about it a lot because she's like, preteen girls are important. So she gets an email from Charlie's people who are like, hey, Charlie loved the mention of Mischief in your Vogue article. He has an idea for you. Would love to set up a meeting. And then she like emails back and is like, okay, we'll see if this is real. And then Charlie like calls her and asks her if they can meet up for a drink, because he's like, well, I happen to be in DC right now. You want to meet up? And I'm like, well, why are you in DC? That seems weird, but whatever. And so they do. And his pitch to her is that he is ready to kind of relaunch his music career, and he wants Maya to help him, which makes no fucking sense.
No sense at all. But, we need, as you wrote in our notes, they needed to meet somehow.
Right.
One of my favorite things about this book is the way Alexandra Romanoff writes about Maya completely like internally geeking during a lot of these moments. It feels very like authentic, I feel like, where it's like, like in The Idea of You and in that Alyssa Sussman book, like everybody played it way too cool for me. And I'm like, y'all would be freaking the fuck out. Like, even if you weren't a fan of this person, you would be freaking the fuck out if you met like Harry Styles or something. Like, you just would be.
Because also he's hot.
Exactly, that too. As I've established on this podcast before, I don't get weird around famous people, but I do get weird around really hot people. But I would definitely be weird around like a super famous person, even if it wasn't somebody I was super into. Yeah. So I think like some of the writing that Alexandra Romanoff does best in here is that very like, holy shit, is this really happening? Feeling that kind of permeates a lot of the book.
Yeah. No, I agree. I think it was realistic in that Maya is like, yeah, I'm an adult now, but like I'm still losing my mind. This is crazy. And like, one of the I thought very nice parts of the book was at one point where she says like her love of Mischief, the band, even as she got older, like fades, you have different interests and things like that, but like it is still a very dear part of herself. Like I think at one point she says it's like one of the most intimate parts of herself. Like it represents all of the kind of things that you tend to be like self-conscious about. And, you know, that's how we talk about Taylor Swift a lot. And part of I connected to that a lot as somebody who, like, you know, got to rediscover all of that as an adult, who never had a boy band phase, and which is fine, you know.
Yeah.
It is what it is. But,
yeah, everyone's got their thing. I definitely had like an NSYNC phase, but not to the degree of like something like this. I was like more of a fan of like Britney's. Like I was a member of the Britney Spears fan club, certainly.
Wow.
Yeah, I was. We got little mailers every month. You
Oh
got
my
you got a little box
God.
of stuff. Yeah.
Wow. I wish you still had that.
I wish I did too. There's probably some of it still lingering at my dad's somewhere, but I don't know.
It's in the beer
Like
can
I remember
pile.
us getting just like little tchotchkes, like pens and notebooks and shit like that.
Right. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. My boy band phase that continues to this day is my ongoing love of Billy Joe Armstrong and his American Idiot phase. My only true celebrity crush. So you can take that and file it away in your Abigail lore.
Use that information in your Abigail file.
Anyway, off topic, but
Okay, so
she rightfully says
meets
no
up-
because this
Yes,
like campaign,
they
it
meet
does
up.
not make sense for her to like take on a pop star as he's like reinventing his kind of career.
Well, and she's promised Teresa that she's gonna lay low, and
Yeah,
this would
exactly.
be the opposite of laying low. So she's
Yeah.
like, "This sounds like fun and interesting, but A, I don't know why you want me to do this, and B, terrible idea for me right now."
Yeah, exactly. And he's very nice about it. And they kind of talk, and they talk about like her days like running the fan club. He tells her about like the music that he's working on, and she says something offhand like, "Oh, well, I'd love to hear it. Like, I can't wait," or whatever. And so they have like a little flirty drink, but it's nothing too crazy, and then they part ways. And then the next day he texts her or emails her 2 of the songs that he's been working on, and she's like, "Wow, these are great." So they strike up a little friendship, or a very like kind of like short-lived conversation about it, and she's like, "Yeah, these are really great." And he asks her like, as a friend, which one should be the first single, and she tells him, and then later of course he does make it the first single. But in one of the meetings with Teresa, they're talking about how it would be really helpful if they have a celebrity. So Teresa was asking kind of the staff like if they have any ideas, and Maya remembers that she had a conversation with Charlie about universal basic income, and he mentions that his mom in Boston, where he's from, is a teacher and has seen a lot of success through a program that was based around like universal basic income. And so she was kind of like, "Well, maybe Charlie Blake." And they're like, "Okay, see if that works out." And so she texts him is like, "Hey, so I still can't like work on your thing, but like this might be a good idea for you of like, one, you said you wanted to, you know, use your voice more. Here you go. You want to do me a favor?" And he says yes.
So she hits him up, and he's like, "Yeah, let's talk, but like I'm like crazy busy because I'm trying to do this new music thing." But then it turns out they're both going to be in LA the same weekend, because she's going to be in LA for her childhood best friend who also helped her do the fan club. She's getting married. And so they agree to meet up for a drink after the rehearsal dinner. So the night before the wedding, after the rehearsal dinner.
And they have this drink in her hotel room because they go down to the bar and it's last call, but they're like...
And they're feeling very perceived.
Yes. So it is, you know, you don't get an only one bed. You don't get I mean, I guess like the whole book is a trope, but there aren't too many of the
normal
like,
person celebrity. But I guess
Right.
it's like mild celebrity, big celebrity in this case, but still.
So they have the drink in her hotel room. There's like flirty vibes for sure. And she's like helping him with his speech that he's going to give at this rally later on. And yeah, they're flirting. She talks about why she's in LA, and she mentions like, "I didn't bring a date." And he's like, "Well, I'll go with you." And at first she's like, "No, that would be crazy." And then he's about to leave.
He asks something that I found very sweet, and like very thoughtful, which like, because she is freshly divorced, and he's like, "Well, is that our wedding's like hard for you? And she was like, you know what? I thought it wouldn't be, but it kind of is. And like, and then that's when he's like, well, you know, if you need company. And yeah, as a recently divorced person who has been to a couple of weddings, one wedding since getting divorced, it is difficult in ways that you don't really expect. So it was very thoughtful of him to just kind of know that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And he's like, no, like, I'll come. I'm a great dancer.
Yeah. And then she relents and is like,
Yeah.
oh, okay. And the way she kind of justifies it, where they're like, they're having a phone-free wedding. And I was like, well, okay, I understand. This is another thing that, like,
come on.
This is another thing that doesn't make sense, but it's fine. So they go to the wedding, and it's beautiful. I will say the fashion described in this book, immaculate.
Yes.
Maya always looks so good. And I didn't say this last week when we were talking about Great Big Beautiful Life, but my sister-in-law, who was reading it, texted me and was like, why does Emily Henry always dress her characters like Disney adults? And I was like, don't put that thought in my head.
Yeah.
But Maya always looks impeccable, and she's a bridesmaid in the wedding. She, like, warns Kate, like, the morning of, where she's like, so Charlie Blake is coming, and Kate...
Yeah, she's like, I have a wedding gift for you.
Yeah. And she's like, shut up, you like him. And she's like, no. And she's like, yeah, you do. And then she's like, yeah, I do. And so they go to the wedding, and it's gorgeous, and they have this very nice moment where, like, Kate and Charlie meet, where Maya and Charlie are, like, admiring the view or something, and Kate comes over, like, looking for her, and Charlie's like, hey, do you need a minute? And, like, Kate and Maya, like, have a nice little BFF moment, like, quiet, where, you know, there's, like, a wedding going on, and then Kate's like, thank you, I did need that minute. And then it continues on.
Yeah, Charlie's like, yeah, as a person who goes to a lot of things where I'm, like, the center of attention, like, I know how it feels to just take a second, basically.
Yeah. And as somebody not too far removed from being married, that was like a moment like I needed.
Totally. Yeah.
Where I was standing in the weird auditorium by myself, and then I made Austin come stand with me because I was just like, oh, fuck. Where's... Oh, shit. I have to do this now. I'm by myself. Where is everyone? Hold on. And yeah, like that... You know, that moment where you can take a breath is important. And so that was a really nice moment. And then Charlie surprises everybody later on at the reception by singing a Mischief song. They provide a acoustic guitar out of nowhere. And he performs.
It's LA. Someone's got an acoustic guitar.
We also get some name drops at this wedding because Kate is... I think it says she's like a PR person or something like that. But Leah, the woman she's marrying, is a stylist. So like, what's her name from The Bear, who we love?
Io Edebiri.
Yes. Yeah. Io Edebiri is there, and then some
Jenny
other like
Slate.
Yes, Jenny Slate. We get Jenny Slate and Io Edebiri here at this wedding.
Two very well dressed women.
Yes, this was a very fashionable wedding, I assume.
Yeah,
and so Charlie serenades the wedding, which I was kind of like, this is a little annoying, but it is also cute. And
well, it was earlier in the evening. Maya had mentioned to Charlie that her and Kate's favorite Mischief song was this sort of like deep cut, and so he takes a second to do that. And from the tiny bit of lyrics that we get, it seems like it is like a very lovey song, so it seems appropriate for the moment.
Yeah, I wasn't like... Plus also, you know, assuming that everybody at the wedding knows who he is, that Kate and Maya ran a Mischief fan club, this is cute.
Right.
But if not, it's a little obnoxious, because then it might be like, who is this man? But But
you know what? As long as Kate and Leah are enjoying it, fuck those other people.
Whoa, yes, okay. You're so right. I'm not denying them the joy.
I feel this way because I was thinking about like at your wedding when you played Is It Over Now at the end, and it was just like you and me and Tess.
Yeah, that's
and you were like, oh, I thought more people would be into that. And I was like, but we had so much fun. So like, Who cares?
Yeah, there were at least like 3 or 4 songs like that. Not as many people for Peg by Steely Dan either, but you know what? Brian and I had a great moment together while Tess took our picture, and those are the best photos of Brian that exist.
Yep, that's true.
So yeah. No, I don't. No, you are right, and I appreciate Charlie and his foresight, perhaps.
Yeah.
So then,
yeah, sweet little friendship moment for them, certainly.
But then Maya, like, kind of rushes out, and because she's overwhelmed, and she's like, that was really nice. Overwhelmed in a good way, and she just kind of, like, steps out. And, like, Charlie follows her, and then they start making out. But then Maya's like, all right, let's go. If you left my wedding early to go bang a boy band member, I would burn down your house.
That is an insane thing to do.
Like, where you are...
There is not...
one of 2 bridesmaids. Also.
Right. There is not... when I was reading this, I was like, what would get me to the point where I would do this? And it would literally only be if it's like Taylor Swift herself is like, get on the PJ, we're going to go on a vacation or something.
And I would make you take me with you.
Exactly.
There
you
is
would leave
no
your
way.
own wedding for that. Yeah.
Sorry, Austin. We're going to do this.
Yeah.
We're going to finish this later.
Yeah,
you
exactly.
can come too if you want. But
that's like the only thing that like, but like for a man?
For a man? A man that you can ostensibly bang in like 2 hours. Like,
exactly.
You don't even have to wait
or
that
like
long.
In the bathroom real quick, you know? Like,
see? That would have been hotter too.
Take a second.
I'm just, like, yeah, again, if my best friend, one of 2 of my bridesmaids also, and also, it's going to be so obvious that they left because that man had just gone up and sang in front of everybody and suddenly they're gone.
And then one of the bridesmaids is gone.
Yeah, exactly. So, like, everyone's going to know what they're doing too. Like, they're banging, which, like, go disappear in the bathroom for a little while. Go to a car. I don't know.
Yeah, and go fool around for a sec. This is a very famous person and you're telling me you can't get somebody to give you a private room at the wedding venue?
You're so right.
Or get the driver to get out of the car for a second?
Find a coat closet. I don't know. There are options. Again, if my best friend in the world left my wedding to go bang a boy band member who she could bang in 2 hours when my wedding is actually over...
Yeah, that's a fight. Well, and we read that Denise Williams book where they're banging in the bathroom at like every single wedding they go to. So like,
it's possible.
Do that.
Yeah, it's possible. You can find somewhere with a locked door.
It's not ideal, but if you're that hard up, man.
Yeah. Again,
figure it out.
2 hours was probably max what they had to wait. So anyway, whatever.
Yeah.
To that point, they do go back to the hotel and bang. Yeah. And it's great because he's hot. And yeah, whatever. So I'm realizing I got really worked up about this in a way that I didn't expect. But anyway, bad friendship moment from Maya. Bad.
Yeah.
So, and she does ask Kate, but Kate being like, yeah, your bridesmaid duties are over is not like, yeah, you can leave.
Right.
It's like, you don't have to do anything else. Have fun.
I guess maybe if I'm thinking about it, like maybe like I don't know, maybe Kate is cool with it, and Maya knew that Kate would be cool with it, so that's why she was okay with asking. Like I would never ask you that, you would never ask me that because we know not to do that. But maybe Kate's more chill about things than we are. Maybe so. You know?
Honestly, I think it's more unreasonable to be chill about it, but that's just me.
I agree, but I'm just saying maybe they have a different.
This does not become a fight later in the book, so like you are correct. Like this is whatever. Anyway, so
it seems like it's a non-issue for both of them. So I don't know why we're taking it so personally, but we are.
This did not happen to me. I have to be so clear. Katie did not.
I stayed there. I was there till the end.
No one left my wedding to go bang a boy band member, as far as I'm aware. If you did, actually, I didn't notice, and please come tell me, because
I would love to know if that happened.
I would love to know if that happened. I'm sure some people did leave my wedding early to go bang, but not Harry Styles. So it's fine.
Yeah.
Anyway, so yeah, they bang, but in the next couple days or like the next morning, the wedding photographer posts, as one does, photos from the wedding. And most of them, you can see Maya, you can see Charlie, you can kind of, like, some of them, they're, like, maybe kind of next to each other, but, like, not really. Like, they look very innocuous. And then...
Yeah, just, like, two people who are in the same place.
Yeah. And then in the carousel, however, there is a video of Charlie performing this very kind of, like, heartfelt love song, and he's looking at Maya, and it's the way he's looking at her. And Maya, like, watches in real time as, like, the Instagram comments, like, realize who she is. Because in Mischief circles, she's famous. And then...
Well, and also, like, you can see the back of her head and, like, her dress and stuff. So people are, like, cross-referencing it with the other photos from the wedding to be like, this is who this person is.
Yeah. And obviously they're right. So Teresa gets mad. And... Charlie is like, I'm so sorry. What do you want me to do? And, like, well, nicely, I should say.
Yeah.
That came off like it was rude. No, like, but they kind of are like, hey, publicly, like, we can't do this right now. Like, there are some stakes here for Maya, not so much Charlie. Yeah. But for Maya right now, the campaign is going on. She's got to make sure she has a job. And she doesn't really want to be, like, in the spotlight again. She was like, it sucked. I hated it. I don't want to do this. And so, yeah, they kind of are like, all right, discreet, we're not dating, and we're gonna be friends. So that
always works in these books.
Totally. So over the next couple months or so, he's, like, scheduled to come perform at a rally for Teresa's campaign, like, at the end of the summer. And so in the meantime, like, Maya and Charlie are texting, they're getting to know each other a little more. And then when it comes to the rally, Maya gives him one of the t-shirts that she and Kate used to make, which was really cute. And he wears it.
Kate made a special one just for him.
Yeah. And he takes off
it wasn't an original from back in the day, but
she made one for him.
She made
one.
Really
cute. And yeah, he wears it and takes off on stage, takes off his shirt in front of Maya to put it on, which is funny. And yeah, he gets on stage and performs, and then he brings out the other members of Mischief, which it's the first time they've all performed together in 15 years, Maya says. So it's like if One Direction performed at, like, Beto O'Rourke's campaign stop.
Right.
Like, this is crazy.
Yeah.
So, yeah, well, One Direction obviously has no Texas tie, but imagine... one of them was from here.
Yeah. So, I'm following.
This is a governor's race. Yeah. This isn't the president.
Right.
This is, like, not low stakes. Obviously, it's not low stakes, but it's, like, it's lower on the totem pole.
It's not a, like, world famous boy band reunites for the first time in more than a decade.
Yeah. To perform an acoustic song.
Yeah.
So yeah, which was very nice of Charlie. And this is also a very cute moment, like what you were saying earlier, where Maya just, like, loses her shit of, like, oh my God, this isn't even a guy that I've, like, slept with. This is, like, a band that I love and, like, grew up with, reuniting in front of my very eyes. Like, that's crazy.
And she has this, like, sweet moment where she's, like, kind of singing and dancing along to one of the songs, and then one of the other women in the crowd who's about her age is doing the same thing, and they geek together. It's very sweet.
It's very sweet. I loved this moment. But yeah, so Teresa throughout this whole thing is also, like, keeping Maya on a very short leash, and Maya's also pissed because Teresa actually didn't say anything about universal basic income in her speech, which is the whole reason, like, Charlie came on, and the, like, reason Maya's working with her and, like, talking about, like, doing these talking points and things like that. And so Maya's kind of souring on this job that she has, where she's like, Teresa's talking down to me. I'm too old for this. She's also not listening to me. This is crap. So
yeah, she's getting annoyed because Teresa's saying stuff to her like, oh, you have a lot of potential. And, like, at that point, Maya's inner monologue is like, I don't have potential. I have a career.
Right.
Like, that's not what this is. It's not potential. I'm not 20, you know,
right.
Like, I have a career.
Yeah.
So yeah, she's getting a little salty at the way Teresa, who I presume is significantly older than her, is talking to her. Like, I'm picturing Teresa being, like, in her 60s or something.
Right, so am I. So she finds Charlie afterward, and she's like, she's
for one thing, he's waited for her for
yes.
2 hours
yes.
in his dressing room while she, like, shakes hands and kisses babies or whatever.
Right. And she's like exhausted. And he's like, do you need a coffee or a shot? And she goes, a shot. So they knowingly like make a semi like unwise decision, and they go get a drink and they go to a dive bar. And
I think this is the moment where in her like inner monologue or whatever, she's like, I'm exhausted. Teresa hasn't been treating me well. I'm like yearning for this person. I'm going to do something for myself.
yeah. And she does.
Like she says something like that. Like, I'm going to do something for myself for once or something like that.
Right. So they go to a dive bar, they have a drink, and then they go back to her apartment and bang. Again.
Yep.
But it goes south. So I'm going to find it because it happens like within 3 pages where they're banging, and then like immediately they're not in a fight, but Charlie's like, hey, I want to be with you. And, you know, he's expressing that he's concerned about her and like, hey, you can have a personal life. Your job shouldn't control everything about, you know, your entire life.
Right.
And she kind of like brushes him off. And then he says, one, you don't have to hide. Teresa's happy to have me around the campaign. Would it really be so much worse to have me around you two? And Maya starts getting frustrated and angry, not so much at Charlie, but like, you know, kind of at her situation where she clearly wants this too and can't have it, she feels like. And she starts talking about like, here, I'll just read it. I think maybe you don't get the ways in which your experience of public attention has been very, very different from mine. You are famous. I am infamous. Your Vogue profile was a victory lap. Mine was crisis PR. This is my life and my job, and I can't take more pressure on either of them, and I don't want to run away from them. So, yeah, she very quickly is like, nope, we cannot. And then Charlie just like leaves. So, womp
Rough.
womp. Yep.
Rough.
So then a couple months go by. She's like running herself ragged, trying to win this campaign for a woman who's kind of treating her like shit. And she tries to text Charlie, and he's like, I can't do this. Like, we can't be friends, and I can't do this like weird in between thing. I don't want a one foot out the door sort of thing. Yeah. And so Teresa wins. Charlie sends Maya a very lovely necklace, and with a nice note of they recalling like a conversation that they had of like, the world never actually seems to end when you think it will, and also congratulating her. And Maya's not even excited that Teresa won. She doesn't really seem to care. She puts the necklace on and she goes to a coffee shop, and she runs into the other woman who had an affair with her husband, which was crazy.
Yeah. And they have a very productive, seemingly lovely conversation where the other woman is like, yeah, like, he fucked me over too. Like, I was stupid. That was so stupid, basically.
Yeah, which was nice to read on a page, and also infuriating of like, yes, another man getting away with it and fucking up 2 lives at the same time. Mm-hmm. That's garbage. Yeah. So I don't know. I felt for poor Cassidy in this moment, but also like,
yeah, me too.
Yeah, there's, you know, the complicated of, you know, she was an adult, but she was a very young adult. The power imbalance, obviously severe. Like,
right.
This was a woman who was like taken advantage of. And so
completely, yeah.
Yeah. So they have what is a nice productive conversation. And to Maya's credit, she doesn't really seem to have a lot of anger toward Cassidy in the book.
Right.
She's like, yeah, my husband couldn't keep his dick in his pants. And like that there's not a lot of like anger toward, you know, this young woman who is like a political intern. So,
and she does give Cassidy like good advice, because she's like, look, when I was your age, I was accused of sleeping my way to the top. So here's some words of wisdom, basically.
Yeah. I wanted it
to end. Good for her.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. Maya's a good person in this moment. And also, you know, has probably had some time to think about this too, and like recognize this is not.
Well, I imagine there's that feeling of I live in the same town and work in the same circles as this person, so the potential of us running into each other is not zero. And B, just the general, like, if I could talk to this person, what would I say kind of thing, which I feel like is a pretty, even if you're not ever going to run into the person or whatever, like, I feel like that's probably a pretty common thought to be like, you know, if I ever had a chance to talk to them, what would I say kind of thing.
Right. And like Cassidy does say something like that where she, like, Maya's about to leave and Cassidy's like, wait, I've thought about this. I just want to say to you, like, I'm sorry. And like, yeah, I wanted it to end with Maya like giving her a job or something, but I was like, that would have been really crazy.
Yeah, like that would have been too much of a leap. I would have been like, girl, you don't know this person.
Yeah. So, and then she gets back to, no, she doesn't even go back to her apartment. She runs off to New York.
Yeah, she like literally goes to the airport directly from this coffee shop because she's like had an epiphany.
No, she gets to take the train, which, wow, city's connected by train.
That's right. The train,
incredible.
That's right.
What a foreign concept to us who live here in Austin. But what a nice thought. This was very Roy Gilmore coded also. So
yeah.
But as an adult. So good for Maya. And yeah, she shows up at Charlie's apartment and like apologizes and is kind of like, yeah, I don't care anymore. Teresa won. I don't really want to live my life this way anymore. Cool. And then presumably they bang. So
yeah.
We don't see that.
In the epilogue part that you get as a bonus chapter, there are two of them. I can only remember
one is Christmas themed.
Yes, one is okay, thank you. So one is presumably the first Christmas after they get together, where I guess all the members of Mischief get together every year for Christmas, or they used to, and then we're going to start doing it again, or something like that.
Does it become Merry Little Meet Cute, basically?
Yes. And so this is, yes, precisely. And so this is when Maya gets to meet the rest of the band members and their like partners and stuff and their kids. So that's really sweet. And then the other epilogue is basically just Maya being like a pop star's girlfriend at a show of his, and then they go bang or something. Like one of them is just basically like a smutty little short story.
Sure.
And the Christmas one is sort of more of a little like vignette. And I learned apparently there is also some audio from Charlie's point of view on Quinn, the audio erotica app. Yeah.
Oh.
Mm-hmm. There's two stories from his perspective. One of them allegedly is a chapter from the book from his perspective, and then another one is a new scene.
Okay. Interesting.
So, that is bonus content I have not consumed.
Okay.
But might.
Who's to say?
The thing is, I have a membership to Dipsy, though, not Quinn. The other audio erotica app.
Yeah.
And so I don't know if I'm going to go pay for. I don't know how much Quinn costs. I'll check it out. I'll let the people know.
Yeah.
No, I won't.
This isn't that kind of podcast.
I'm not going to report back on that, actually.
2 weeks later, it was great, guys.
Yeah, I'll tell you if I did or didn't listen to it.
Yeah, there you go.
I'm not going to share
your thoughts. You know. So
I will say I very much do like my Dipsy membership. It's like $60 a year, which is worth it to me.
Oh, okay. So, yeah.
Like $5 a month or whatever.
Oh, that's not so bad. Yeah. Dipsy, sponsor us.
Honestly, they sponsor a lot of romance novel pods. Come on. I just gave y'all free advertising. I'm a fan. I've been a member for like 3 years.
You hear that, Dipsy?
Just saying. I know Abigail has some thoughts about the overall concept, and I've shared some of mine. But I will, now that we've made it through talking about this book, I have become a member of 831 Stories. So I think it's a fun thing. I have been out on my Book of the Month membership lately. I've been using it mostly for like audiobooks, but like I quit Book of the Month and then I rejoined, and then I regretted rejoining because I just don't really give a shit. So in my mind, this is going to replace that for me. And I can't remember exactly what I paid. I can tell y'all it's on my shop pay, but you get a little welcome gift, which I don't know what it is. I'm assuming it's some stickers and tchotchkes and whatnot. But the membership for it was $99 for the full year. So that ends up being like far cheaper than like Book of the Month or anything else. And I did also, because you get a member discount on the website, order the shirt that says everyone reads romance novels. Obviously.
So, yeah. Okay. So I enjoyed it as a book. I will look, sorry, there's Cooper, guys.
Y'all know you get dogs on this podcast. Roll with it.
I wish I could make them shut up, but alas, I don't have that power sometimes. So I like this as a book. You know, obviously I'll take out any criticism of like, this was underdeveloped because, yeah, this is a 160-page book. It is not like, you know, all the things that we say like don't make sense or whatever. Like, yeah, okay, it's 160 pages. Like, it's not supposed to be that serious, and that's fine. Like, I understand that. I liked the writing. I liked both of the characters. Yeah, no, I thought it was fun as far as like a very like low stakes, like I just want to sit on the couch with a glass of wine and read a little book and like be done with it and not think too much about it. Like that's what this is for. And I really appreciate that. Like it's like an adult comic book in a way, you know, where it's like you can read it in one sitting. It's fun. You don't have to think about it that hard. Like, yeah, it's just nice. And so, like,
that's a great comparison. And I'm gonna love collecting all of them. Like, I'm certainly gonna go back and order the ones that I don't already have, just because I would love to have like a section on my bookshelf that's like just all of these together as I accumulate them, because they're gorgeous. Mm-hmm. Like the color schemes are so fun. They look like no other book that I own. Mm-hmm.
And yeah,
like you said, it, like I read it in an afternoon, and I've been in like a major reading slump lately because I think I definitely did mention on the last episode that I am sort of down bad after breaking up with a guy. So I'm having a hard time reading romance, but this felt really easy for me.
Yeah.
Because it was so short. Because like even like starting it, I was like, there is not that much here. Like, like even if I'm slogging through it, I can get through it because there's not that much of it. And I didn't slog.
Yeah.
So it was really good for me for that reason when I'm having a hard time with like other like actual full length novels, even that aren't about romance. I can't fucking read anything right now, turns out. It's fun. It's good. Yeah. I love it. It's great.
I think I've said...
I'm just alone with my thoughts.
You good?
No.
On that,
we've established that.
I know. But
I started watching Summer House from the beginning. Yeah.
Well, we'll talk more about that later. I think I've said on this podcast before that sometimes like I have trouble just like reading full books. Like I read so much in terms of like journalism and like even just like long form articles and things like that. Like my reading diet, it's not like I go days without reading, but sometimes it's like it's so much easier for me to pick up like, you know, a 8,000 word magazine article versus like a couple chapters of a book. And like, yeah, I wish maybe I was less of an iPad kid that way, but alas, that's my brain right now. So this was like the perfect gateway drug into here's a nice silly little romance. It's 160 pages. You can read it in like 3 hours and you're done. And so, yeah, I think for that purpose, I think it's great. I think in terms of the concept of it, of 831 as like as a publishing imprint, as like a brand, I feel a little cynical about it in that, okay, it's cool that you can go to the website and find like some bonus content. I think that's great. But it is also taking you to a place to buy stuff. And ultimately, like, if you're going to do this thing where you're also like asking me to like buy into it versus like with a membership and with merch, like, dude, it better be fucking quality. And like, I will say like, I caught like several errors in this book. And so,
same.
Yeah. And like,
yeah, just little copy editing things.
Right. And like, you know, it's cool. It happens, whatever. But like, you know, if you're going to ask me to buy into this, like, and I will also preface by saying like, I am someone who's like kind of anti-stuff. And like, I don't love a trinket the way that Katie loves a trinket.
I love a trinket.
Katie loves a trinket. Many people do. So I am cynical in it from that perspective as somebody who does not like to buy into stuff just for the sake of having stuff. Like that's something I'm trying to be. I'm trying to be like a conscientious consumer where I can. But on the other hand, This is really cool. It's really cool to have a community where you can like look at something and be like, oh yes, I love that too. And have something that centers around something that you love. And yeah, maybe I do want to buy into that. That's just like a personal decision for anybody. And the merch is fucking cute. Like, I'm not going to pretend the merch isn't fucking cute, but my cynicism
and
also...
it's like unique merch too, like, and that's like themed with the book. Like one of the books that I have not read yet has like an ashtray that seems to be from some bar that I'm sure features heavily in the book. And then like a different one has like a lighter that I'm going to assume is related to the book in some way, right? So it's not just like hats and t-shirts, which they have those too. It's things that could be useful or unique or whatever.
Yeah.
Another thing that I didn't mention about the membership is there's a Discord that you get access to if you join. And so there's a little online community too. And I just joined like earlier today. And so I haven't gone through to join any of the stuff. And Set Piece, the new 831 book, just came out yesterday. So I'm assuming there's going to end up being yesterday, as we're recording this 2 days ago, as it's coming out. It came out on Tuesday. So I'm assuming there's going to be more chatter about the new book. I would hope. But I do love like an online community like that. Like I'm in multiple different like Discords for like fan, like I'm in like the John and Hank Green like fucking Nerdfighteria Discord, like shit like that I just like being a part of, even if I'm not like actively contributing. And yeah, I like, again, I don't know how effective or active this Discord community is, but I love the idea of like creating a community like this.
Yeah.
And it's only, I think it's also important to note that it's only their fourth book came out. So this is only month 4 of them really being in production. So I think it'll be really interesting as well to follow them.
Yeah.
And see how things develop or change over time.
Yeah. I mean, like hearing they have a, you know, I don't know like what it takes to like get on Quinn necessarily, but that they are like hosting content elsewhere. Like, I think that's really cool. I think that's really interesting. And like, I'll preface the thing with the merch of like, I obviously don't know like if it's quality or not. And I also am looking at it and I'm like, oh, this is something that I could wear in a year or 2 years and think like, this is still cute. Like it's generic enough that I'm fine with it as a thing. I just, you know, I am the person that's trying to like spend less where I can, but I also really have a big t-shirt addiction. So like, who's to say?
And I'm trying to cut back on my t-shirts unless they're things that I can like also kind of repurpose and wear to work or wear out. Not just like stupid little t-shirts, but like the like everyone reads romance novels t-shirt is a play on the everyone watches women's sports shirt, which is like kind of like 70% of what made me really like it, because I just love the idea of like a women's thing riffing on a women's thing.
Yeah.
And it is also the perfect design to crop in the perfect way.
It is going to be a good crop. So
yeah.
So I think I'm excited to see how this develops. I think like anything that is, you know, I mean, clearly we have a podcast. Like we want people to like have a romance community. Like that's cool. We love that. And yeah, I also do love the idea of basically like what is a Reader's Digest for a little romance book. Yeah. I think that's cool. I think that's great. And I think like for people like me who might be a little bit of an iPad kid right now, for people who like don't have a ton of time but just want something relaxing and fun to read, I think that's great. Like I think that's cool. I just like, yeah, if you're buying into it, I hope it keeps delivering.
Yes.
And so far, like, you know, this is the first one that we've read, but I'm excited to read another one. Also, you know, taking into account aesthetic, it's going to look really cute carrying this around. It just really is.
Exactly.
It's going to look so cute in my little bagoo. So
right. Like I want all the other ones now so that I can have them on my shelf all cute, or I can put them on my thing on my table under my TV and stack them and have them be all cute, you know? So
I'm not immune
I'm
to
happy
stuff.
I'm happy to report that the shirts are comfort colors. So
okay. All right. That's pretty good then. All right. All right. Great. Cool. That's great. I'm glad to hear
So
that.
yeah, I'll let y'all know. I will be wearing that shirt 24/7. So thrilled about that. They also have hats with different tropes on them that I was really close to falling for because they have an enemies to lovers one.
I know the hats are good.
But each one corresponds with one of the books, right? And the one for set piece just says competence porn on it.
Yep.
And so I love the tease that that's what the book is going to, like it's like all these little things that tease what the book is about. Like they have a sweatshirt right now that's in the Great Gatsby font, but it says the Just Okay Gatsby.
Yes, which is also a tease for the next book because I did read the blurb. So
Nice. Yeah. I haven't yet. It's presumably on its way to me. So
yeah, no. So this is not sponsored. No one paid us to do this. We should also say
no. But if you would like to, I'll take a discount on my membership, and I'll keep talking about y'all.
Yeah, no, I also am glad to see that these are like sold in actual bookstores, that this is not just a like, you have to be a member. This is not just a like, this is not an exclusive thing, like you can just, and I picked mine up for, they're $15 each. So, for a little paperback. All right. Yeah, cool. Yeah. Whatever.
I would like to say this is what you get with the membership because I couldn't remember earlier. There's a welcome gift which features a metal chain bow bookmark. Cute. Reader sticky tabs, 5 postcards, and a sticker sheet. Love that. And then you get 5 of the books. So I think it's not like a monthly thing. I think it's like a sort of every other month, like slightly more than quarterly. Because I think after this, the next one doesn't come out until July, if I remember correctly from my Googling. So you don't get a book every month. It's only every few months, which fine. 5 books. Plus some tchotchkes for $100 feels reasonable. You get the members only pricing. So anyone can join the Discord community, but there are special like little rooms that you can join if you're a member. Invitations to members only virtual events, which is interesting. So I just joined, so I haven't seen those. And then exclusive access to like new products or events. Like I saw they did an in-person event in LA recently. So I imagine like some member perks come along with that. So come to Austin, 831 Stories. We'll come.
Yeah, we'll come. Yeah.
Yeah.
And
so we'll see if the membership ends up being worth it. To me, I was like $100 for a year. That feels fairly reasonable, especially since I'm sort of out on Book of the Month right now. So.
Yeah. And it does look like the one that comes out in June, Square Waves, is by Alexandra Romanoff, who wrote Big Fan.
Oh, hell yeah.
So there we go.
I liked her. And I do really like that this is introducing us to authors that not just I've never read, but I've never heard of.
Yes, I agree with that too. So this was a nice.
And I like
experiment.
taking away the burden of choosing my book of the month. I like that we just get handed, here's what it is.
Yes, I agree with that. And that also, like, if I waste 3 hours of my life, that feels fine versus wasting like 9 hours of my life.
And then you have this book, this giant book of the month book that
giant.
You will only get like 10 cents for at half price because everyone else is also selling them to half price.
Such is the circle of life. It is what it is.
I hate to be a book of the month hater because we've been like longtime fans, but I get so hot and cold on them over time,
No, I think that's fair. I mean, it's like, it serves you at some points. It doesn't at some points. It's the same thing. You can always rejoin later. It doesn't really matter.
Right.
Like,
yeah, exactly. Yeah. And it might be partially because I'm in this slump right now. So
Katie's just grouchy.
I'm just kind of cranky, I think.
Yeah, just a little cranky. So
yeah, that's fine. Are you reading anything else right now?
No, I'm still on my little beach reread. I had a really lovely Sunday where I took myself to Barton Springs and tanned and laid on my beach towel and read some beach reads. So I'm still doing that, which was really nice. Cute. And very needed. And then, read this the past couple days.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's what I'm working on right now. What are you reading right now?
Well, I'm reading this Andy J. Christopher, the same one I was talking about on the last episode. I'm almost done with that. That's been a good, just kind of like, I don't have to think about it too hard one, but the new Carly Fortune came out this week.
Yes.
So I am going to be reading that while we sit in your backyard in the sunshine this weekend.
If anyone knows anyone selling pool lounge chairs, hit me up, man.
In the broader Austin area.
The broader Austin. Those bitches be expensive, bro.
Ones that
hell?
we can feasibly obtain by Saturday.
Yeah, if you got a hookup, hit me up.
Before or on Saturday.
Yeah, I have
with enough time to use them on Saturday.
I have a crossover vehicle, so if they can fit in there,
as do
also,
I. So
yeah, one each. Call us. I'm in the market.
We're so serious about this. This is not a bit.
If this is the one thing that we actually get responses on for this podcast, well, we didn't get Nadia cakes.
But we did. We manifested the Nadia cakes. But I know they were from your husband, but he would not have gotten them for us had we not mentioned them on the pod.
Yeah. Hey, I'm
manifesting pool chairs.
Yeah, manifesting pool chairs.
I'm doing like a little like Zen meditation pose right now.
And on the pool chair note, our next episode we will be doing summer reads because it's time. So take a little book club break and round up some things that we want to read. And
and I think we might have to bank 2 episodes.
We do have to bank 2 episodes because Katie is going to Europe for much longer than I am. So
yeah, your girls are about to be on vacation. Y'all know what we're gonna do, which is post from every bookstore that we go into.
Yep, I already put a list of bookstores from London. So
I saw, and then that led me into a rabbit hole of looking up bookstores in Barcelona, Nice, Paris. I haven't gotten to Brussels or where I'm going to be in Croatia yet, but if the people have bookstore recommendations at any of those places, which I will post that on our Instagram stories because I know I'm going to a lot of cities. So
cool.
Hit us up. All right. We will see y'all for summer reads.
Summer reads.